Hello and welcome to the Suffer City Training Center. My name is Jason at Suffer City. I'm going to be walking, talking, guiding you through, motivating you through, coaching you through an upper body shoulder mobilization drill exercise sequence today. All right, we're going to be, as you notice, the shoulder shimmy. We're going to be going through 5 different movements, exercising some phenomenal core stabilization, activation, as well as I mentioned, the shoulder mobilization movements. And then we'll be finishing this off with a bit of a jog, a run, perhaps a row, a ski erg, a bike ride, something that's going to progressively get your heart rate up for 3 minutes. So a couple of tools you'll need today are some resistance bands of varying resistances. You also need a PVC pipe, perhaps a pull-up bar, and if you'll need any modifications, we'll talk about those later. Let's get started with the first movement. We have our forearm plank. I'm going to begin, obviously, with the forearms onto the ground. I'm going to lift up the knees, and that's going to put energy directly into my abdominal core. Now, if you don't feel it there immediately, take a deep breath into your nose, right into the space behind your belly button, and then just exhale from that space. Now, your shoulders are also going to become activated through this plank position. All right, your shoulders are kind of stabilizing as that energy moves through into the core. That's what we're feeling for 30 seconds right here. As soon as you finish a 30-second plank, we're going to go into our walk out into a Superman push-up. Here's what it looks like. So start in the standing position. You can even begin by taking the hands up over the head. Give yourself an exhale as you set the hips back. Nice walk out into the top of a push-up position, at which point you'll come all the way down to the top of a push-up. Release the hands as you take a back extension, and then walk the hands back to the feet. Again, come into a good standing position, extend it through the hips. Again, as you take a nice big exhale, walking the hands out to the top of push-up, release through a back extension, a Superman back extension, and then back to the top. Again, a good idea to take the arms up over the head, opening up through the shoulders to each rep, of which you'll have 5. Once you're done with your walkouts into the Superman push-ups, we're gonna go right into a prone position behind the neck pull. Let's check it out. All right, so here we are, the poised prone behind the neck resistance band pull. Got the resistance band anchored to the bottom of my Z-Bex runner. I got my PVC pipe. Just gonna slide it right through the loop of my resistance band. Now you want this band to be centered on your PVC pipe. That'll just make for a more balanced pull. I'm gonna give myself some space. Now I want, as I get into this prone position, I want some resistance on the band. All right, we want resistance on the band before you start. You can see myself extending away from the PVC pipe. We got resistance. Now I'm going to take my toes, put them into the ground. I want my heels pushing back as those soles of my feet are standing on the ground. This is going to result in your knees lifting up off the ground. So we're also going to engage the quadriceps and your glutes. From this position, I'm going to rest my head either left or right or chin on the floor, lift through the elbows, and we pull behind the neck, extending out, coming back through, all the way behind the neck. For the 10 repetitions, you'll do this. You'll keep the PVC pipe and your arms off the ground for the entire 10 reps. All right, what you're going to be feeling here is a good activation through the scapula muscles, up through the lat muscles, the rear delts really firing for you, as well as the lower back stabilizing as your knees stay risen off the ground. So taking 10 reps from here, we're going to move directly into our next movement. So let's get into our hanging shoulder joint articulations. You'd like to find yourself hanging from a pull-up bar. If you need to add a little bit of an assistance with a band, go ahead and do so. But if you can hang comfortably from the bar, you can likely do these articulations. Now, that's just a fancy word for moving your body up and down without bending the elbows. So you hang from the bar, squeeze tight, rise up, even maybe taking your body into a bit of a hollow body position, and then coming back down. We've got 10 of these shoulder joint articulations. Squeezing, breathing, feeling these shoulders come alive, the rib cage muscles come online, as well as the upper abs. Fantastic tool here to get those shoulders mobilized, as well as the core stabilized. Now, hey, let's move on to our next movement. All right, we have the over the head shoulder pass-throughs. I'm gonna be using a PVC pipe. You could just as well use a resistance band, even your arms, nothing. Just going all the way back as far as you're able and bringing it forward. Using the PVC pipe, I'm going to take my palms down in this position, maybe even hold a hook grip or some style of grip you may fancy on the barbell. Hey, if that doesn't mean anything to you, just hold on to the stick. Anyways, keep my elbows extended. I want to feel my shoulders roll forward as I bring the PVC pipe forward. As we're moving up and back, I want my shoulders to move up and back, going all the way as far as we're able, keeping those arms straight, and then we actually bring the PVC pipe all the way to the mid-back, lower back, or the glutes, wherever this happens to fall on the back side of your body. And then we'll come all the way back up and through. Notice I keep the arms straight. And if you're having a hard time keeping those elbows straight, what you can do is just bring the hands wider. Bring them wider, coming up and over the head, back and forward. And the more mobilized these shoulders become, the closer your hands will get to one another, moving all the way forward, all the way back. You've got 10 reps here with these pass-throughs. All right, as soon as you're done with these, you're gonna go back to the top. That's right, we're gonna exercise through these set of 5 movements. You're going to do 4 rounds, moving briskly, not taking a whole lot of time to recover, but definitely focusing into each and every rep, breathing through each and every rep, noticing especially your exhalations, lengthening those exhalations, lengthening the range of motion of the movement, and bringing length to the whole experience here. In any case, we get through 4 rounds, and then we proceed on to your finishing of the warm-up or finishing of this accessory workout style of sequence with a hard cardio, whether a run, a bike, a row, a ski erg, but in either case, a good hard cardio push. Let's go take a look at it. So I'm gonna finish with the run. Nothing compares, if we're being honest, to whole body mobilization, coordination, using some strength functions involved in some good high octane, powerful running. I mean, if you've ever seen Walter Payton run a football, tell me that's not strength, right? In any case, this is a fantastic tool, getting on your bipedal system, both feet hitting the ground, striding through 3 minutes. Now, maybe you're on a bike, maybe you're on a less impactful device, and by all means, if that's what you need, that's what you get. Maybe you're rowing, working on your row or your ski erg. Over these 3 minutes, we want to progressively push that pace. Pick it up a little bit harder, maybe from minute to minute, maybe every 30 seconds. 3 minutes, though, of good, hard, progressive pushing, digging, maybe finishing with a sprint finish. This is what it's going to take for you to hit a lot of these results and see a lot of the goals and gains that you want to see. It's got to happen here in the process when you're digging in. Hey, all right, so as you take a look at the difficulty rating, a 3.5 on the scale roughly gets you 17.5 points if you're playing our Suffer City game. Hey, get in the game if you aren't quite in it yet. There's 17.5 points on the line here, but with that difficulty rating, hey, the challenge is, you notice me breathing a little heavy here, the challenge will also be involved in how hard you push yourself or how narrow you're able to get your focus into each one of these reps throughout this mobilization sequence. Now we want to tune up the shoulders, get them prepared for some bigger, maybe stronger movements later on in a workout, if in fact that's what you're using this sequence for, as a tool or an accessory device. Now maybe this is a workout that you want to get today, or maybe it's a rest day and you want some active recovery, also a great tool. You could increase some of the weights or increase the rep counts, maybe hang from the bar a little bit longer. You could do a couple of pull-ups. You could really tweak and turn this sequence itself into something to suit whatever the situation that you have is. Now, in either case, stay focused, stay the course. Proud of you for being here today, and I want to thank you. Again, my name is Jason here at Suffer City. Thanks for letting me be your guide. Thanks for choosing me to be your coach, your trainer, as well as your guide throughout this process. And until next time, hey, go be great. All right, so throughout that training sequence, let's say you needed a modification for perhaps that hanging shoulder scapula articulation. Maybe you can't hang from a bar. There could be an issue impeding you or keeping you from being able to do it. In any case, let's go ahead and take a look at a modification here with a resistance band. You could take any band of really any resistance. Ideally, you want the resistance to have an impact upon, you know, how you're breathing, how the muscles are feeling. We'll talk about that in a second, but basic positioning here, I'm going to set back into a good strong base of position, my feet just beyond hip width distance. You see my hips set back. I'm going to let my shoulders roll forward a little bit. All right, I'm going to stay braced into the core. First thing we're going to do is bring the shoulders back, and then a little bit of an engagement through the shoulders coming together, and then release forward. Again, notice we're going to keep the elbows straight throughout this movement. And then you can take the prescribed amount of repetitions. But what you're going to feel here, again, is a good engagement through all the way from the front deltoids, the front of your shoulder, all the way through the medial, all the way to the back, as well as the intercostal muscles of the rib cage and your serratus muscles coming online as you really grip and squeeze and then retract those shoulders, pulling the shoulder blades together. Great modification, tool to the hanging articulations. Also just a great tool in general.